Well, we found ourselves back on Zoom because this gentleman is in Westman. Our last show we did live, and we like to do things live, but we also like to do things on Zoom because we can use some cool filters, which Mike was using beforehand. We got those turned off now. What'd you have there, Mike? Purple lips and
And very thick eyebrows, which was good. I was actually trying to put in a like a screen filter for my background as I'm in my basement and it's all out of sorts.
that
But
looks
yeah, I
natural.
had some nice thick eyebrows and purple lipstick. So pretty amazing what they can do these days.
What's all that junk from? Is that from the now nursery?
Oh no, we got a little bit of water in our basement a few
Oh,
weeks
okay.
ago and a few, so just haven't really put it all back. But yeah, some of those nursery stuff. So you got to make room for these humans apparently.
And if you look, is that a barely clothed lady over your left shoulder?
Yeah, for some reason there's a painting. I believe it was
I
my
don't remember seeing that before.
and you spent we were down here for an
A
hour
long
looking
time. Yeah.
looking at golf clubs. But I think Brett's grandma painted it or something. I don't know. There's lots
Oh,
of it's a museum down here. So
well, very nice.
yeah.
Not a museum, but a great guy. And his last name starts with M, and that is Bryce Matlashewski, who is investment advisor with Endeavour Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce 204 515 3446. He's been supporting the pod for 3 years now. And also shout out to Jamie Wilkie, who was on the first season of the pod. We had Oak Island out there, DQ Nick. And this just so happens to be our 100th episode, which is pretty cool. So thanks so much for joining us, Evan.
Yeah, no, appreciate you guys having me on. Really looking forward to this.
Gotta love talking about Westman Golf. And you're a younger guy, so
Yep.
you probably remember very vividly on how you got into this game of golf. Was it a parent? Was it a relative who got you into the game?
Yeah, I sure do. It was actually my grandpa on my mom's side. So I grew up in the city there in Winnipeg, and I don't know how old I would have been, but probably, 5 or 6. First time seeing a golf course was actually at Harborview, the 9-hole par three
Oh,
course there.
yeah.
So yeah, I remember him taking me out there. Not a ton. Maybe once every couple weeks in the summer times, and kind of where it all started for me.
When did you end up moving out to Westman? Like you're in Brandon now currently?
Yeah, I would have been 10,
Okay.
9 or 10, 9 or 10. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you play any junior tournaments while you were here living in Winnipeg, or did you only
I
really start playing competitively when you got out there?
No, I never did actually. So golf was not really the main sport for me until after high school actually.
Oh, interesting.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I grew up a competitive hockey player playing double A, triple A, kind of all the way up till second year bantam, and then had just some injuries, some bad coaching, just kind of sick of it after a while, and moved on to high school sports, basketball and football, and you know, did really good in those. I've always been like a really athletic kid, kind of been like pretty good at kind of everything it seems. Um, so like I could have went away and played college, university, both basketball and football, but COVID kind of screwed all that up.
Oh
And
no.
it wasn't something I didn't love it, basketball and football, and I always loved golf, like just going out on the weekends with buddies, after school. Um, and it was actually it was Drew Jones actually who got me into playing tournaments because he used to work on the grounds crew at Wheat City where I was a member. And he'd always see me out there just walking alone, just grinding out there, and he's like, man, you should go give it a shot. So after, it would have been between grade 11 and 12 when I was 17. There's an old pro out here who runs it's called the Westman Junior Tour. So he's probably got between 60 and 80 kids every summer, different age groups. He does a little match play tour type thing. So you keep your season long standings, and whoever comes out top at the end comes out top. And I played it for 1 year and I won it pretty easily. And then the next year I got into Golf Manitoba stuff and kind of just started taking it more seriously. So that's kind of how I got into it.
Did you still play though a little bit during that time, or you really
For
just focused
sure.
on hockey and football and basketball?
I wouldn't say I played, like I didn't have a membership anywhere when I lived in Winnipeg. It would just be going to Harborview, on the weekends, playing nine here with Grandpa, or the odd time. So he was a member at Transcona, actually, and kind of funny seeing it now. I used to think that place was just like Augusta.
Right. Yeah,
Go,
of
going
course.
going going there as like a 7, 8 year old. This place is just amazing compared to Harborview, and then like seeing it now, it's pretty trashed. But you know, it. I know they have. I don't know anyone personally who works there, but I've heard from Grandpa there that they have a lot of irrigation problems with water and whatnot. And whenever the city gets a big dump, they're shut down for a few days. So no,
Yeah.
I always enjoyed it.
So your Gramps is still a member then at Transcona? He still plays out of
He
Transcona
still
when he can?
plays there, yeah. He still plays there. I don't think he's pretty old now, so I think he only plays once a week, and he's pretty tight on. He, they're not short on cash, but he's pretty. He's got a tight pocket, so he doesn't want to spend on
All
on
grandparents
membership
do.
like most grandparents do, for sure. So I think he just plays every Wednesday morning with the seniors.
Yeah. JR, have you played Transcona?
I have a few times. I think I
Yeah.
played one or two pro-ams with Dale Esipenko back in the day when
Wow.
I was working at Assiniboine and Dale was the pro. He took me out. I think it was a pro-am, and it was 2 years in
Nice.
a row, 2 or 3 years in a row, something like that. But yeah, it was a good time. And then I got cut, and I think he took Blair Mooney,
Oh,
the year that I got cut. But I was like,
that's
whatever.
too
I don't think it
bad.
was at Transcona, but it was somewhere else. But I did the Transcona trek a couple times.
Yeah, decent little trek, but yeah, probably need some more funding to get their maintenance up and running or whatever. But
Yeah, less
all
tight.
courses have their struggles, right?
Yeah,
For
less
sure.
tight-pocketed seniors. Get them out of there. No,
Yeah,
no, I'm
I
kidding. I'm
enjoyed
kidding.
my time there.
I,
Johnny got a phone mobile ticket leaving that place one time. But
oh,
anyways, that's
Johnny the Weatherman. Now that
yeah,
he's been
the
dubbed,
other
if you listen to our gambling guide there for the Open Championship, Mike is also rocking his Donald Trump 18 over par bright red mega hat. It's just
yeah.
18 over par. It's a golf podcast hat.
Yeah,
That's all it
so
is.
I
If
mean,
you want one, DM us.
we're not politically affiliated here, but we ordered these hats and then they came out looking like a certain someone's signature mega hat. But yeah,
Not like the
they're kind
EVO
of
Golf
sharp.
hat.
Oh, very nice merch.
That Evans. Watch, there's a little camo action.
Yeah, it's a little black and gray camo. Yeah, we got these early on in the States, and since then it seems like they've doubled their prices, so on to a new supplier.
Mm.
Mike might be able to help you out with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Our orders are pretty low. I'm sure you guys have maybe some higher orders, but you got to go overseas to get the
For sure, yeah, that's where we
pricing.
got ever since then. Yeah, we've been overseas, just takes forever.
Italy, that's where we get them made, handmade
Italy.
Italy. Yep, and only the
They're
finest
working on them right now.
3,000 thread counts. Anyways,
I do find it interesting that were you recruited then in these other sports in
Uh,
high school?
so yeah, I was basketball, just at the college level, nothing big, and then football, university level, U of M and U of R actually, and then could have had opportunity to go down south, play at some junior colleges and that type thing, but I just never loved it. I was a little bit undersized, super skilled, and just never really had the heart for it.
So when did golf take over? When it was
It,
Jones
it
kind of grabbed you by the collar and said, "Hey, let's do this thing."
I mean, kinda. So that was between grade 11 and 12, and then after I graduated high school, and so that was I graduated in 2019, and then it would have been summer 2019. Kind of started. I think I played my first ever MJT that summer. I played a few of those. wasn't great by any means. Like I was probably a good day in tournament was probably like a 75. Um,
Jeez, I'll take that.
so tournament golf wasn't great that year for me, but it was kind of my first shot at it. So, and then moving on into the following summers, kind of, just tried leveling up kind of a little bit every summer, and here I am now. So,
Were you just naturally gifted? Did you get lessons, or was it just repetition of playing?
so I've had one or two lessons max in my life, and they were both from, if it was two, they were both from Ed Bogue at Transcona.
Oh,
You
interesting.
probably
Okay.
know the Bogue brothers, eh?
Yeah.
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 So when Ed was the pro at Transcona, when I was in the city there still, they're from him. So it might have been two lessons, two max. And yeah, that was the only lessons I've ever had. I mean, I'll every now and then, Austin Debrescu here, founder and director of instruction, I'll, if he's got a spare minute, which he does quite a bit. Yeah, I'll go over him and ask him like, "Oh, do you see anything here? Like if I'm struggling or not?" But no formal lessons since then. So
Well, it seems like you picked up the game pretty quick, especially considering you started relatively early in the game, then put it on
for
the
sure.
shelf, and then brought it back and started playing competitively and doing really well. What is your handicap now? Is your index? Aren't you a plus?
Yeah, right now actually, I've had a good run of golf here going the last couple months. I think right now I'm a plus 4.4 or something. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
Jeez, that's incredible. Just in time for loading up for the Manitoba Am, which is coming up. I got it as the 22nd and 24th at Rossmere. Have you ever played Rossmere before?
no, I haven't actually. Me and Drew actually we're heading in on Thursday morning. We're gonna go see it for the first time, check it out, and then come back to town for a couple days, get some more prep done, and then head back Sunday and see it again. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard a lot about it from a few guys, but it's nothing. You still got to see it, right? I'm a big Google Earth guy actually.
Oh, interesting.
Uh,
Okay.
Seeing, yeah, I don't know if you've talked to
I
guys
think
who are like that, but
Mike's I think done it numerous times, haven't you?
Love Google Earth.
so
You
yeah,
know,
I'll go on with the
not just Google Maps for the listeners, but go to Google Earth or
oh yeah,
download
gotta
the
be
app, and then you can measure it out, and maybe you
for
take it
sure.
even a step further.
Yeah, no, I get on Google Earth, use the measuring tool, go from the back of every box, go to bunkers, but with the fairways where what I
Mm,
think is the widest part of the hole, like landing areas and whatnot. So
right. That's good. Now for me, it's a little different because I'm not hitting from. It's very easy to find the back of the tee box where you're playing from, but trying to determine like the blues or the whites is like, well,
oh,
this
for sure.
probably seems about right. But that's good. No, it's a great tool.
Yeah, no, really good. And then aside from that, I uh I usually order yardage books off of either Strackline or PuttView. So I got a PuttView book in the mail a couple weeks ago. So I've been looking at that.
I
And
don't think
yeah,
I've
no,
I don't think I've
Yeah,
heard of this.
no.
PuttView books, yeah, they're yardage books. Same with Strackline. They're the type of yardage books we get at the Canadian Amateurs when we go. Golf Canada supplies us with them. So
And
no, it's nice.
what kind of details are you getting? Like,
It's pretty much everything. So yardage starts from the back of every tee, goes to, certain trees, bunkers, hazards, front of greens. Some of the books you get major slopes on them.
right?
Yeah, so it's some cool stuff. Yeah, elevation change. So
And
it's nice to have. It's nice to have, sitting here doing getting some practice in, and seeing, oh, this hole looks like I'm gonna have to be hitting a lot of hybrids here or whatnot. So it's
mm-hmm.
kind of been good to see kind of what I'm gonna have to hit off the tee there a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and Mike maybe has a few pointers for you as well, because weren't you talking to our inside guy at Rossmere?
Yes, we are our member Mike Porteous, who we've had on the show, season 3, episode X. The father son duo of the Porteouses, but Mike's a member at Rossmere Country Club, Yeah, he told me they shaved down like a lot of the green runoffs.
Yep, nice.
And so likely, it's going to be tough to stick your ball there.
Yep,
Otherwise it'll
got to hit
roll
the
off.
fairway for sure.
Yeah. Another insider told me that the greens were a little long when he played there yesterday, but I imagine they're just growing them out to cut them real short for
For
you
sure.
guys. You guys
Yep.
play Monday, July
Yeah.
22nd?
Yeah, starts Monday. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
So you mentioned the books and Google Earth. Is there anything else that you do to prep for this? Do you walk the course before it? Obviously, you try and play it before you go and play in the competition itself.
Yeah, we'll go play Thursday and then play Sunday again. Um, and aside from that, nothing really course specific aside from that. Just, do usually do a little kind of, we call it a 2 week training camp here at home. Couple weeks out and kind of really gear up for it. So if there's no events going on for me in the near future, like I'll still go out and play a bunch, but I won't practice per se. So the 2 weeks ahead, I'll do a lot of practicing, try to hit, a couple hundred balls in here a day, I'd say. Roll a bunch of putts on our nice putt. We have a putt view down here, which is great for the putting. And on top of that, I'll go play as well.
So EVO Golf, that's where you're doing a lot of your practicing right now, and so that's
Yeah.
virtual golf.
Yeah, so it's we got 5 GC Hawk sims. We have a putt view putting green. You can hit up to like 13 footers. You can hit up hillers, down hillers, left to righters, right to lefters. It's got all kinds of different slopes on the green. And then we have a gym in here as well, and a bar as well. So it's kind of it covers all kinds of bases here. You can come in, you can just you can play around with buddies, you can practice, you can lift some weights in the gym, you can hit some putts. Yeah, it's and we also have 2 driving range bays with GC3, so the stand on the ground launch monitors,
Right.
4 sites. So for most of our membership, we guys just hit balls in there in the winter.
Oh, that's smart. When did you guys open up? Was it a year or so ago, or not even?
Not even. So original date we were hoping to open was like October 20th, and I think it got pushed back to like November 9th or something. So November
And it's
9th was
right in Brandon.
right in Brandon, yeah, downtown here.
Oh, that's really cool. And I mean, good on
Mhm.
you guys for starting that. Was there anywhere else around to do that there, or were you the pioneers out there?
That's more of a question for Austin. He kind of brought us in a little bit later on. Um, I know he had this vision probably a couple years back now when he was down in Chicago, playing at Chicago State. I know his coach, he had a facility similar to this. And I think that's where his vision kind of started.
Smart was Baldy, Brendan Baldwin. Wasn't he? Didn't he go to Chicago State, Mike, or was it a different? Maybe it was a different one. I
It
thought
was
it might
in
have been
Chicago
Chicago
or
State. Yeah.
Illinois or
Anyway, Brendan Baldwin, he's the one of the pros at Southwood. So I just brought that up. And like Chicago State, that sounds familiar. But Debrescu himself, I mean, he's very talented golfer. We had Colin Abgral on the show, and they had numerous battles growing up, whether it was junior, amateur titles, whatever it might be. It seemed like every other year or
Yep,
every year, one of them was winning it. So
for
that's a
sure.
pretty good guy to lean on there. So are you pretty much then full time at Evo, like during the day? Is this your profession now?
For now, yeah. I mean, I'm still a student at BU here in the
Okay.
fall. I got another year left. But yeah, in the summer, here a decent amount, and then the rest of my time I'm working on the game. So
Hey, how many balls are you hitting in a day?
I mean, it's tough. I try to get minimum 100, some days couple hundred, and then on course as well playing. But it's like full swing, probably between 100 and 200, I'd say.
Oh, that's pretty good. I also heard or read it somewhere that you're quite the short game wizard. So you spend a lot of time working on the short game. You mentioned putt view. What other
Yeah.
stuff are you doing to practice the short game?
So like tonight, I was out in Shilo, and I just loved. I drop balls all over the place on the course. It was nice. Um, we're lucky in Shilo during the day. It's pretty quiet. it's out on the military base. So obviously the military guys are working. So like this afternoon, I went out. I think I seen one group out there all day. So I just drop balls all over the course, hit shots, onto all kinds of different green contours and out of the rough, out of bunkers, out of fescue, short, tight stuff. It's kind of just experimenting for me, honestly. I just like being creative with the short game.
What kind of
And
creative shots are you using? Are you using all the wedges in the bag? Or are you Texas wedging it? Or really it depends on what you're given as a leave?
It's what I'm given as a leave and a lie, actually. This year, I feel like the past 2 years, I've probably been better than ever at judging my lies and kind of determining what kind of shot I can hit. So I don't know. I'm primarily just a 60 degree with everything. Like I can hit the low shot, I can hit the high shot, I can hit the spinny shot. If I want to hit one that runs out, I kind of feel like I'm hitting a draw. So it's all kinds of stuff like that. Very rarely will I chip with anything other than 60. And if it is, it's just 56. So.
And is that like 40 yards in, or is there a certain number to
Yeah,
the pin within that? You're just taking the 60?
I'll primarily use the 60 anywhere 90 yards and in. Bunker shot. If I get in a bunker, it's different. Real short bunker shots, I'll use the 60. If it's a little longer, I'll go 56 or 52, or even a pitching wedge if I have to splash a long one, like a 50-yarder or something like you guys would have seen Bryson hit there at the U.S. Open.
Right. Yeah. So you would have been taking a P wedge then.
Probably a P wedge
yeah?
there. Yeah. Yeah. Probably a P wedge. Just hoping I don't blade it into the crowd there.
And then on the green itself, because even for myself, having played the game for so long, and Mike ditto, it still seems sometimes like putting is an obscure talent that neither one of us have mastered. Any tips on the green that you can point out, whether it's how to read the green, rolling short putts, rolling long putts? How do you even practice those things?
I honestly, like, putting's all confidence, I'd say. Like I try to tell myself every time unless it's like a 50-footer that you're not trying to make, you're just trying to lag it up, right? Anywhere inside of 30 feet that isn't like straight downhill or anything that is somewhat makeable, I'm telling myself, okay, this is going in. If you approach a putt any other way, like, oh, I hope I hit this close, you don't have a chance, right? So I think a lot of it's confidence. And then green reading, actually 2 years ago, I got into aim point. And ever since I got into it, I've just it's stuck. And probably one of the main reasons why is the first event I ever used aim point at was the Grand Pines Prairie Scratch Tour inaugural event that I won. So first week using aim point, I win. It's like, okay, well, this is staying.
Maybe walk us through aim point then. What is the structure to aim point when you're on the green reading a green?
So you got to train your feel and your feet to understand slope percentages. So you got 1%, 2%, 3%, and some people go up to 4% as well. And that's when you have so if you have like a 10-footer, you straddle your line obviously in a couple different spots. I like to do just in front of the ball and then break the putt into thirds. So like a third, 2/3, and then right at the hole. Whatever I feel, if I feel a 1% slope in one spot, but a 3% slope in another spot, you take the biggest slope in the putt. So it'd be 3%. Then you go stand back behind your ball. You put your fingers up. So for 3%, it's 3 fingers. And so on and so on. And then you got to train yourself, whether it's up or downhill. And based on the speed of the greens, that it's how far you hold your hand out away from your face, from your eye, and then you close one eye, get one side of your finger at the middle of the cup, and then the ones on the outside is your aim point. So for me, it just kind of simplifies it. I rarely read a putt with my eyes anymore. I just go straight to straddling the line, feeling it in my feet. Oh, it's a 2%. Go stand back behind it, put my two fingers up, whatever speed it is, however far it is from my face or whatnot, get the aim point, put the ball down, and then go from there. So I feel like it really simplifies it for guys who might struggle reading greens. It's just it's not easy. You got to put in the time to kind of train yourself to understand that. And a big tool that's helped for me is a digital level. So just Canadian Tire or whatever, I got a digital level in my bag that I'll just throw on the ground when I'm practicing. Oh, is this a 3%? Throw the level down. Oh, it's 2%. And I know it's 2%. So it's a good tool there
Wow.
to use too. Yeah.
Bringing tools, actual tools out onto the golf course.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Mastercraft.
I got a few questions.
Yeah,
How
no
long is
doubt.
this? How long is this digital level?
This level I have, it's not that long. It's like
Like-
8 inches or
Right.
something.
So you would throw that down in the middle between you and the hole, and then get a slope
Just
percentage.
Yeah, wherever I'm kind of questioning how much slope there is. So it might be
Right.
in multiple spots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And obviously you can't use this in like a competition.
for sure. Yep. No, you can't. No. So just when you're out practicing that, like I said, kind of train your mind to know how much slope you're feeling.
What kind of shoes do you wear?
I use FootJoy Premiers. So they're
Okay.
the spiked ones. Yeah.
Spiked. Now is that, yeah, we got JR and I both are wearing the Pro SLs.
Yep.
The they
Spikeless
got,
probably.
yep.
Yep.
They got a good squeak to them that we've noticed. Apparently there's a fix. So we'll have to reach out to Mr. McMillan there and see what the deal is with the squeak. But yeah, I don't know. I've tried feeling, you got to do it a lot, I think, or you
For
got to
sure.
be
Yep.
very in tune with your body, which maybe I'm not, and maybe my feet are just numb for some reason. Bad circulation. But in some cases, a very heavy slope, you can feel it. And you're like, okay, yeah,
For sure.
yeah. But
For sure.
getting those like finite slopes down, that's gonna be tricky.
For sure.
Um,
The only thing with it is you obviously can't do it when you get on a slope that's above 4%. So that's when you're just using your best judgment with your eyes and kind of picking
Okay.
a high spot and going from there. So
And then with the putt view, can you practice aim point on the putt view, or
you can, yeah. Putt view is actually super cool. So yeah, it doesn't move, but there's built-in slopes on it. Up to 4%, I believe, actually, and there's actually a setting on it where you can. So it's hooked up to a projector, and it projects like the contours and everything.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you can shut off the contours and like get it to draw a perfect line from your ball to the hole, with certain pace, like drip pace or like 1 foot pace or 2 foot pace or 3 foot pace. And then you can actually you can put slope percentages on too on putt view. So you can take off the contour lines, and then if you go to the slope, it projects the percentage of every slope on the green. So it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. I encourage our listeners to look up putt view. There's probably even some videos on the EVO, maybe social medias.
Absolutely. Yep. There would be, for sure.
That's where I saw it. I was like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. Probably one of the only ones I know of in at least the province.
Yeah, we're the only one with the commercial size putt view in the province. So I know they make like an in-home version, which I think you can get like 6 or 7 footers on. But the commercial one, I believe we're the only one in the province right now.
How big is that?
It's about 12 by maybe 18.
That's a decent
no,
size.
not 18, probably 12 by 15. 12 by 15, I'd say. Yeah.
Well, we'll get the level out and we'll measure it. I mean, not that you can measure the level, but and you said, sorry, one more on the putt view, that
You bet.
the contours are the same. It's not, because there is one of those machines or whatever where the green can change. This stays stagnant, it's built in, but the projector can, it knows the contours.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we had to build it with like all kinds of different tiles, and I wasn't actually here for that, but I heard about it from the guys. Apparently it was impossible to build, but anyway. Yeah, so I guess the software just knows where all these contours are, and then you got to get it calibrated. You know, they come over and set it up remotely or whatever,
Right.
and do all that. So yeah, it's pretty neat.
A Quick Putt View also makes those glasses. You can
They
put
do.
those
do.
glasses
Yeah.
on,
So
and I think it analyzes like a
it
real green.
it does the
And
same thing.
Wow.
Same thing our Pud View does. So you put on these goggles. They're kind of like VR. You stand over your ball. You like push a button or like pretend to, obviously, like mark where your ball is. Walk up to the cup, do the same thing, and then kind of scan around, and it'll draw a perfect line to the cup for you.
That's
Not
incredible.
not cheap, but
Wow. Gramps isn't getting one of those.
likely not. No.
maybe
That's
they'll
incredible though that
sponsor
it does that.
Yeah.
Looking for
Yeah.
sponsors, Putt View.
Yeah.
Send us some glasses.
Send
Yep.
us some glasses, man. Come on.
Yeah.
That's cool. Technology's cool.
Yeah. Well, talking about, you know, they have the Craftsman tool, the digital level. What tools are you using in the bag? What do you got in your bag nowadays?
So right now I've got the AI Smoke Triple Diamond driver, Callaway, Paradigm Triple Diamond 3-wood, and then hybrid. I use what is it? Stealth 2 Plus hybrid. I for the longest time I had a 2-iron in my bag, P790 2-iron, and I don't know. It was great off the tee. It was just hard to hold greens going into par fives. So I went to the hybrid, and I found it's a lot more versatile. So it's probably one of my favorite clubs in the bag. I hit it a lot. And then irons, the TaylorMade P7 MCs for the pitching wedge, and then the MG4 wedges. So
wow, what a lineup.
Yeah, what a bag. What are you putting with?
I've actually got the Odyssey Jailbird. So the long one. If you guys ever seen Ricky, probably seen Ricky putt with it. It's like 38 inches. So you kind of use it as a counterbalance. You don't hold it right at the end. You grip down on it a bit and counterbalances itself. So
interesting.
It's different, but I really like it. I was putting with a blade for the past few years, an old Ping Answer, and I went to this year actually, and I haven't looked back. So
Seems like you're a very analytical guy too. Would you describe yourself as an analytical golfer?
yes and no. Like behind the scenes when I'm practicing, yes. When I get on the course, I don't want to be. I want it to be as simple as possible. But I mean, as you guys know, there's so many moving parts in the golf swing, and there's just so many variables in golf in general. So I feel like the more you can be prepared and understand why your ball's doing what it's doing, I just think it's, for me personally, I think it's a lot easier and kind of like understanding why it's doing that, and what do I need to do to fix it, or what do I need to do to continue to hit it this good or whatever, you know. So and I think I've become definitely more analytical when I can practice with all the data like this right in front of me down here, because before that, you know, I never had anything like this to practice on before, so it's been really good.
And you obviously then have a game plan going into, if you're playing in whether it's Prairie Scratch Tour event or the Manitoba Amateur,
For sure.
you got a game plan.
Absolutely. I do. Yeah. It's kind of hard to elaborate on it right now, as I haven't seen the course
that's
next
fine.
week yet. But come Thursday, come Thursday, I'll see it and, you know, kind of decide, kind of see. It'll be tough Thursday too. It'll kind of be Sunday when I see it the day before, and kind of understand the exact conditions we'll be playing. And, you know, from there, I'll have a good idea and what holes you can kind of pick and choose to chase birdies, and, you know, what's a good par hole, and kind of come up with a number in my head that I'll try to get on Monday there.
Are you playing with like a member, a local guy who's gonna point
No,
some of the things out?
no, I'm not actually. Just Drew and I are heading on in Thursday there, as well as Zos Gross, who just won the junior actually at
Yeah,
my
Yes,
aqua
yeah.
there. So he's gonna join us. He's a Shilo boy as well. And then
nice. How do you pronounce his name?
Zos Gross.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw it up on the leaderboard there.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. And then same crew of guys on Sunday. So just us local guys, just kind of going blind and figure it out on our own.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's the
well,
best way to do it.
that's true.
Yeah.
And you can't trust those city folk. They might try and run you astray. Uh, just analyze it yourself. What's the weather supposed to be like next week? As I'm looking at
It's
it,
supposed to
but
be, I think, pretty hot.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't even looked yet. That'll be another thing I look at is wind direction and kind of make notes in my yardage book. Is there's uh compass north arrows in my book, so I can kind of see, oh, okay, on this tee shot, winds coming from the left here and whatnot. So that'll be
nice.
something I'll look at probably Sunday.
So it's a 2-day event, Monday, Tuesday, correct?
Three
Monday,
day,
3 days.
day. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Hmm.
Do you have
Yeah.
someone caddying for you?
I don't know actually.
Mm.
No, I I don't know. I did last year at Oak Island here, just a buddy from home. But no, not right now for next week there.
Was that Thomas Friesen? Did I see that?
No, it was
Oh.
that was at the match play this year at Breezy.
Mm.
No, just another guy I play with quite a bit here.
Hmm. Not that I know Thomas, but I see his name quite a
Yeah.
bit on Twitter and articles and whatever. Seems to be a great sports journalist.
Yeah, yeah, he sure. I think he loves his job. He plays a ton of golf, that's for sure.
Mm. Whether or not you love your job, you can play a ton of golf, then hey, it's a good job.
For
Oh, well,
sure.
having played in both, Westman and really all around the province, is there a difference between city courses and what you'd find out west where you are?
Um,
Elevation.
I, yeah, no, elevation for sure is one. It's kind of tough. I haven't played a ton of city courses in the past few years, other than like, the St. Charles, the Glendales,
Hmm.
the Elmhurst, the Pine Ridge. So like some of the top courses. So
Hmm.
I can't really speak for kind of the smaller public ones. But I'd say probably speed of greens for sure in the city, a lot faster, a lot firmer. Which we wish was the case out here. Everything's so soft and slow, it seems. So it's not great for tournament prep out here when you're playing soft and slow stuff. Aside from, actually, you guys know well Des out at Oak Island there.
Yes, yeah.
Hmm.
He's got that place just absolutely cooking. It's so firm and
Really?
fast. It's so much fun right now. Um,
We got to take a trip
Yeah,
out
and
there,
yeah,
JR.
again, I know
it,
because I
it
haven't played it yet, and I
it's
gotta.
so good. It's by far the best tournament prep for us out here. I'd say for sure. It's just
Hmm.
much firmer and faster than anywhere
And
else. So
Shiloh's nothing to sneeze at least. When I went there, I mean, the greens were absolutely pure and like so
yep,
well manicured. Um,
yep, yeah. When did you play, Mike?
oh, this was 2 years ago though. So
Yep, yeah. No, Shiloh's good. It's always in good shape. I just find in the past few years it's been a lot softer and slower than it
mm,
had been. So it's just it's tough, when you go to like last year or no, 2 years ago at Elmy, the greens
mm,
were just like rocks and lightning
right.
fast. So
Yep.
you're hitting in the greens out of the rough there, and it's like you have no chance. But back home here at Shiloh, you don't have to hit a fairway because the greens are so soft. You can attack pins from anywhere. So it's
Hmm.
just that's a big difference I find.
Hmm.
Well, it's good to
It,
good to know. I know Mike does play a lot of golf out that way,
I
but
do.
layout
and
wise too, I feel like the city courses are pretty like, country club-ish, like adjacent fairways, kind of just tree
Mm,
lined. And then you get out here and there's a lot more bush. Obviously, you're in the country.
hmm.
Um, and some kind of goofy layout, I'd say. I'm sure you guys have played Clear Lake. It's a ton of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mhm.
some real goofy holes, I'd kind of say. There's that
Yeah.
par
Mhm.
five on the back nine, the double dog leg, where you have to hit like an iron off the tee.
Yeah, the birdhouse.
Yep,
Or no. Yeah,
yep,
that's what,
that's the
like
one.
10, 11, 12, 13 maybe.
13. Yep, 13. And then yeah, so that's just an example, but I'd say yeah, layout in the city is a lot more kind of traditional,
Mhm.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Country club.
Have you played Gilbert Plains?
I have played Gilbert.
I mean,
That's another one
that's got
that's
some goofy
really
ones, but
goofy.
super
Oh yeah.
super cool place.
Yep.
But yeah, certainly different in the city.
Yep. For sure. As expected though.
Mhm.
Shout out to Mike. We talked about this after the Niagara round. You hit your bingo card. You've played all the courses. Was it in and around the city or within
Uh,
city limits for sure?
so if you look on the Golf Manitoba website, all their membership courses are broken down into different regions. And so I have a spreadsheet obviously going of which ones I played. And Niagara was the last one on my list to play in the Winnipeg region. So there's probably 20 courses in the Winnipeg region. And I checked off Elmhurst earlier this year and then Niagara. So I'm
Wow.
waiting. I think they mail you a watch, I think, a Rolex
A
watch.
Rolex, yeah.
That's what Munsey was saying at Golf Manitoba. Thanks, Brian Munz, Jared Ladderbrook. Thanks,
uh,
guys.
I'll have to reach out to them. And so that's my our we joked a few years ago that you'd is a bingo card. So I've completed my Winnipeg region bingo card. Westman, I got the big ones. Clear Lake, Minnedosa, did play Shilo, haven't played Wheat City yet. Clear Lake, Gilbert Plains. Got to get out to like Glenboro and Glen Lee and all those. Got Oak Island, but yeah, Westman's it's a whole nother place.
Rolex watch.
That's right.
Yeah, you
I
get a
think
second one, yeah.
you get a tag watch for that one. Um, yeah, yeah. And I've never played Wheat City. So were you at Wheat City for
Yeah,
a while
so
before Shiloh?
yeah, so I was an employee of Dave Tanaka's actually for the last 4 years. So I played it. I had membership at both courses.
Mm-hmm.
So Wheat City's a lot more kind of like a Selkirk,
Mm-hmm.
kind of down by the river. A lot of shorter dog legs,
Right.
um, not long, kind of decently tight, but not too challenging. So yeah, very similar to Selkirk, I'd say.
What were you
Mm-hmm.
doing with Dave there?
I was just a pro shop employee there.
Oh, great.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a great time. Had a lot of fun. Good crew of guys there for would have been 4 summers.
Nothing better to do in the summer than get paid to be at a golf course.
That's right. Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, I guess the only other
Absolutely.
better thing would be to be paid to be on the golf course, which you did with the Prairie Scratch Tour, and we had quite a few guys on from the Prairie Scratch Tour. What is life like on Prairie Scratch Tour? It seems like it's a whole hell of a lot of fun, and you can get some money out of it.
For sure. No, it is a lot of fun. Big shout out to Jordy and Ben, obviously, for coming up with that and kind of a alternative or not an alternative, but another option other than Golf Manitoba. Because I guess for me, I think there's only 2 Golf Manitoba events I can play every summer because I'm not old enough for the mid-am yet. So no, it's a lot of fun. Keeps you sharp in between tournaments, Golf Manitoba tournaments. Competitive, obviously, a lot of great players. Yeah, cash, which is we all love, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit more laid back vibe, I'd say, compared to the provincial and national events. There's no rules officials following you around there's no one uh, putting you on the clock or anything. So um, if there is some kind of something in the rules, you just play a second ball and then talk about it after the round. So
That
it's
makes
no,
sense.
yeah, guys are honest. They know the rules too. So no, it's good. It's a lot of fun. We play some pretty fun courses too. Courses that I don't think Golf Manitoba has ever gone to, like Falcon Lake. Um, yeah, Falcon Lake.
Not recently, anyways,
Where
I
else?
guess.
No, not recently. Not recently. Yeah. Bridges, which I don't think they've gone to recently. Bridges is a great track. I like that place.
Yeah, interesting. There's a lot of funky
Well,
holes
yeah,
on that one too.
there is.
And
Yeah,
bridges, and a lot of bridges.
Right.
It's in the
a lot of
name.
bridges.
Didn't it kick off at Southwood the
It did.
season
Yeah,
this
Southwood too.
year?
Yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah, Southwood this year too.
Did you play in that event?
I did. Yeah. So that was supposed to be a Saturday, Sunday. We got there on the Saturday, and it was winds were like up to 80 an hour and gusts, and
That doesn't sound like Southwood.
and it actually we got 2 holes until it started pouring and hailing on us, and then
Oh,
they called it for the day because everyone was soaked, and it was only like 10 degrees, and it was pretty miserable. So it was just a 1-dayer on the Sunday, and
yeah.
it was a perfect day the next day. Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
that your
it was
first
good.
time playing Southwood?
No, I 2 years ago, Golf Manitoba had the 4-ball
Oh yeah.
there.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah. So the old inter club, I played it. That was my first time.
Nice.
Well, then you
Yeah.
did win the inaugural event, as you alluded to earlier on the Prairie Scratch Tour, and that was at Grand Pines.
It
And
was, yep.
what do you attribute to that? Was it aim point or just everything clicked at the same time?
So yeah, as I said, aim point, that was the first week ever using it. So uh, maybe that's what honestly, I can't really remember. I obviously putted good if I won, but I don't really remember a whole lot about it. I know I was good off the tee, and pretty good into the greens. I do remember that. Um, but I'm sure you guys have been there. It's a pretty tough, tight test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to be in full control of your golf ball, and yeah, it was a lot of fun though. I just remember. I think I played with Braxton both days, and I just remember the second day. I think I had a 2-shot lead on him after day one. And I just remember all I remember is the first hole, day 2, with the 2-shot lead. Obviously, never been in that position before. Pretty nervous. And I tap in for a par, and he makes like a 40-footer for birdie, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. But managed to fight him off in the end, and no, it was a lot of fun.
Up until then, had you ever played with Braxton?
Oh yeah, yep, quite a
Mhm.
bit. I played I guess my first year junior golf in the Tamarack at Clear Lake.
Okay, great.
I had a good battle with him up there. I think I lost in a second or third playoff hole against him. So yeah, no, I've played with him plenty of times before then, and obviously he's an amazing player and a great kid, and I look forward to playing with him again here soon.
Well, not only did you win the PST inaugural event, I'm assuming do you have one or more Wheat City Club championships?
I had the last 2.
Wow.
Yeah, the last 2. So yeah, I think 2 years ago it wasn't close. I think I was pretty low, and then last year was interesting actually. I got back late on I think it was a Saturday, Sunday. I got back late Friday night from the Canadian Am in Toronto, and hadn't touched a club in a couple days because I had missed the cut, and kind of been golfed out because it had been a long week. And then I teed off early Saturday morning on like no sleep, and just
Hmm.
hit the ball everywhere and shot like 76 or something. And then the next day I came out and shot 66 and won in a playoff. So
Wow.
it was pretty funny.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it, though.
That's how you do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Congrats. I'm sure you didn't, document that or think about that on the flight back of, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 76, then
No,
strokes better the
definitely
next day.
not. No, definitely not.
But you did, and
Yeah.
that's the main thing. So kudos and congrats. I mean, obviously, I think you got to be ranked up there with one of the top amateur golfers in the province in the game. And how many times have you competed nationally? Were you representing? Did you make one of the AM teams that represented Team Manitoba, or did you just enter these Canadian AMs yourself?
So last year I qualified for the first time. I got into the Willingdon Cup team, all thanks to Todd Fanning actually, because he didn't want to go, so I got his spot.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Todd.
thanks, Todd. Appreciate it. So that was my first Canadian. The last 2 years I missed out on it by one spot each time. So I think I was like tied for 9th 2 years ago and like 10th 3 years ago. So
What's it like playing on those courses that are set up for a national amateur tournament?
oh, it's totally different, especially last year. If you guys ever talk to guys like Braxton or Marco who were at it as well, the Pulpit Club it was called, just north of Brampton. It was actually created by the two guys who invented Trivial Pursuit.
Oh,
Forget
really?
I forget their
Cool.
names, yeah, but they opened it up in the 90s, and it was pretty insane. Just the layout was crazy, like elevation change, and it was long, it was windy, it was tight, it was fast, it was all those things. And so for me, it was a big adjustment, and a mixture of not hitting the golf ball very well, and it doesn't take much when you do that in a national event and you miss the cut. So that was a great experience, though.
And you still had time to come back and win, or was that a different year?
Oh, the club championship? No,
Yeah,
that was that year.
that
Yeah,
year. Okay.
yeah.
Well, there you go. Mike, did you have any more? And you already wiped out clean your putt view questions, so no more questions about putt view.
Chris Haney and Scott Abbott, the two individuals who
Oh, there you go. Trivial Pursuit.
invented Trivial
Trivial
Pursuit.
Pursuit.
Great game.
Yep.
I've played it a few
Great game.
times.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a long time though.
Yeah.
I do have a few things
Yeah.
to highlight. Maybe not too many, but back to Rossmere, par
Yep.
70.
Yep.
3 par fives, 5 par threes, a few long par fours. So that's interesting. I think
Yep.
Munzie had interviewed maybe it was the general manager there or the pro on the YouTube recently, and basically, yeah, it sounds like it's shorter than maybe some of our longer courses in the province, but they're going to set it up to really challenge you guys. So
For sure, yeah. I actually didn't. I seen the yardage. It's about 6,400 and
okay.
change, I think. But I didn't know it was only par 70. So that's interesting.
Mhm. Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I don't know how that'll affect it, if it will.
Mhm.
I know in these amateur events, a lot of guys who do well take advantage of the par fives.
Right.
So if there's less par fives, maybe tightens the field a touch, but who knows? I'm sure the par threes are pretty tough. So
Yeah. I'm just rechecking my information here. Otherwise, I'm going to get roasted by Mike Porteous. But Blue Golf says par 70. So yeah, you got to dial in those par threes.
yep, yep, for sure. Yep, big key for me is always getting the par fives and then trying to be at par or below par on the threes. So
And then we talked a little bit about your high school athleticism. But as far as records, I could find football records.
yep,
Most passes in a season in 2018. This
yep,
is Winnipeg High School football records.
yep.
Obviously, you were a quarterback.
I was, yeah.
234 passes in a season. Most passing yards in a season, 1,985. And then in 2016, most 2-point conversions, 3. So quite
Yep.
the accomplished football player.
Did you
Yeah,
not have a running
so
back?
we did. We did. We just had a small offensive line, so I kind of got the snap and ran around back there, kind of scared for my life. So um no, yeah. I actually didn't know that I still held that record in that league for passing yards. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's
Um
still
I-
up there, and a lot of Brady Oliveira
a lot of Brady
Oh, yeah.
Oliveira,
records as
yeah.
well.
Brady Oliveira, yep. Nick
Uh,
Dembski, I've seen in that book too.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
2016, I played receiver for grade 9 to 11, And I guess in grade 10, I would have had that 2-point conversion record as a receiver. So
Okay.
my quarterback actually from grade 9 to 11, his name was Dayton. He's actually an offensive lineman now for the Ticats. So
Oh, no way.
Interesting. Wow.
yeah, he was a big boy. And then in the off season after grade 12, he moved on to, I think he went to Saskatchewan as a D lineman and then moved over to the O line. So
And he was a quarterback.
he was a quarterback in high school. Yeah,
Geez, that would have been scary.
he was probably 6'6", 270, I bet.
Jeez.
Yeah, in high school. So
Who was
after
tackling that guy?
yeah, no one alone, that's for sure.
How old is that kid? That's what the parents are saying.
Is he from Cuba?
Yeah.
Back on the joke. You mentioned the Tamarack. Are you
Yep.
and I haven't played in it, and the in-laws got a place up at Clear Lake, so I always want to play the Tamarack. But it's a whole like week kind of commitment. Are you have you played in it since, or like as
I have.
Yeah.
I've played the last 2 years in the men's division, obviously. Lost last year in the quarterfinals and the year before in the semis. It's such a hard tournament to win because it's such a short course, and it really holds, I find, long hitters back because you can't hit a lot of drivers.
Right.
And kind of, so you'll see guys, members there who are, in their 60s, who have wedges in on every hole just like I do, just because they're hitting driver and I'm hitting like a 4-iron right beside them. Funny story, actually, I played a guy last year who played a few years on the PGA Tour China. His name is Brian Clark. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard that name.
No, that's cool though. Interesting.
No.
But he's mid to late 60s and he shot 4 under bogey free and I shot 6 under to beat him 2-1.
Oh,
Wow.
So it was shocking, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, quite the event. I mean, I don't know a lot about it, but just being in the area while it's going on, and there's like 200, I'm guessing 200, 300 different people that are entered into it.
Between different divisions, you got the juniors, there's 2 divisions in senior, there's men, there's women. I think there's almost 400 actually.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh,
super cool.
I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, I pulled my number out of thin air, and then there's like a stroke play qualifier.
Yep.
And then everyone gets seated into their flights and ages and sex and everything else. But one day, JR, will have to get out there and we'll just have to commandeer the cabin and play the Tamarack. Yeah, we'll just camp. I'm sure that'll be good for the swing. Sleep on an air mattress or something. But yeah,
August for your hips.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. They did not, because that was July long and I camped and my hips were sore and we played Poplar out there anyways. But and I saw Braxton out there twice. Big cinnamon bun guy. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, August 17th and 24th this summer, the Tamarack. So you gonna be out there?
I'm signed up right now, but unsure what I'm doing yet. Gonna do the Monday qualifier for the Manitoba Open. If I obviously don't win next week, and try to get into that event, as I'd much rather be playing there than Clear Lake that week. So
absolutely, that'd be a super fun event
for sure.
Have you been to the Monday qualifier before?
Never, no. This will be the first. I'm gonna do that one, and then the one the week after in Brainerd. So
wow, great, good on you.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Do you gotta pay some money for that? I think Colin was saying you gotta pay some money to get in the qualifier.
Yes, it's a few $100. Yeah.
Nice. Maybe, yeah, you gotta get a sponsor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just take the hat. Take the EVO Golf hat. Say, this is my sponsor. They're taking care of my registration fees, and then tell them to put the invoice in the mail. Simple as that.
easy.
Right.
Yeah,
And
we
you
don't
would
have to work it.
you would have to qualify as an amateur,
For
obviously,
sure.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess, and I don't, maybe we'll get into that in the back nine.
Okay, you
Yeah.
want to do the back nine lightning round? Well, we can do that.
Unless you got questions.
No, I'm good. I'm ready to go
I was
for
going to
it.
ask him if he was going to
Oh.
go pro.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Right now before the back nine.
Down the road, yeah, for sure. Probably another at the end of next year or the year after. Probably 2 years max, I'd say. Then I'll turn and try to play for a couple of years and see how it goes. And after that, just get into the teaching scene
Okay.
and along with Austin here and see where things go from there. So
Yeah, well, it seems like you do have the brain for it. So kudos to you. I mean, Austin is, I think, one of the best in the province. And, young kids. How old is Austin now?
I believe he's
Right.
27-ish, right around there, 27, 28
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
So you can go see him. We also got Coleman. We got some really good young teaching professionals as well as the old with all the professionals. So whether you're, a teaching professional, club professional, whatever it might be, go see him. We talked to no end on how good the professionals are here in this province and in this country, really. So if you need some help with your game, go see a pro. Speaking of pros, if you need help with your financial game, that is Bryce Matlashewski, and he is an investment advisor with Endeavour Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce 204-515-3446. We also have all of his information in our link tree. Go to our Instagram or Facebook, click on our bio, and it's all right there. We will also have a link to EVO Golf and maybe Google Earth as well. A lot of talk about Google Earth this episode. Never thought we would bring up Google Earth, but yeah, I remember Mike, you mentioning that. But anyways, we already talked about that.
I mention it all the time and you cut it from the episode.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Google's not paying any money for this. Damn you, Alphabet.
Oh, that's Google Earth is my my second most favorite pastime after golf. I don't know if that sounds creepy or just nerdy, but
nope.
Evan, yeah, back nine lightning round. You got a nickname?
Probably Ev or Natchy.
Natchy.
That's from Drew Jones there. Yep.
Okay. You ever get Natchy Light? Like Natty Lights? I don't know. That's a US thing, I think, but
I don't know.
Now you do.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Nachtigall.
Nachtigall.
Yep.
That's a
CH. Yep.
German origin.
German, it is. Yep. You bet.
How about that? Look that up.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet. Have you ever got a hole in one?
I have, yes. I believe it was 2021 Wheat City hole 6 with an 8-iron.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long?
How
long? That hole?
I was right around 160.
That's a good one to get.
Yeah. And I hit it good. So that's I always hear stories of people, like blading one and it rolls up and goes in. So I hit it good.
That's good. Yeah, I know a few people like that. How old were you?
I was 20. I'm 23 now. So
okay, nice. You always, sounded like you started later, but yeah, some of those guys get the hole in one when they're 14 or something. You're like, come on. But,
yeah, for sure.
What golf ball are you playing with?
Titleist Pro V1. Pro V1, yeah.
You have a specific number or a indicator on your ball you do?
I always draw a line on it, either black or blue, and then I try to use number 3s usually. Little superstitious. It's just if I make a 3 on every hole through 18 holes, that's a pretty damn good score. So
yeah, agreed.
That's great.
Yeah. Almost impossible, but
almost.
I got a stupid question, and I should know this, but I buy a lot of used balls. But when you buy a box of balls, all the balls in a sleeve are the same number, correct?
Yep.
Or no?
Yeah, but 4 sleeves. obviously 4 sleeves in a box. Each sleeve is a different number. So
Yeah, yeah.
I
How about
try to
that?
use the non-threes in practice.
You can just give them to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll take them after you're done hitting wedges.
Yeah.
Uh, you got a favorite course to play in Manitoba?
Probably right now Oak Island.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah,
Um,
good pick.
yeah, I bet right now that's the one.
Yeah, and the KNG guys. I don't,
Yep.
we follow them and I tune into their show once in a
Yep.
while, and they're big Westman guys. I'm sure you listen to them or know them as well.
Yeah, I know who those guys are. Yep.
They got their big Oak Island tournament, I think, coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded
Wow.
pretty fun. I think you start in Brandon and then take a bus out there, and you're there for the day, and then come back. So,
Can't go wrong with
um,
that.
no,
No, sounds
no.
like a lot of fun.
Next year,
Mhm.
JR, we can
I
we
know
can
it's
join
always
that.
next year. We got to do the Tamarack and we got to do all these things.
I liked their post, not to pump their tires too much. But it said it's a golf tournament with a little bit of beer, not a beer tournament with a little bit of golf. So I thought that was a clever little comment.
That is good.
Yeah.
What would be your bucket list course in Manitoba? You
Bucket
got one
list
you want to
course
get
in
out to?
Manitoba.
Yeah.
I've actually never played Niagara.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So just hearing about it, the history there too with the PGA Tour Canada events used to
Mm-hmm.
being there.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good one to play. Other than that, never played Pinawa. I've played Granite, not Pinawa though. Heard Pinawa's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of crazy setup, but a lot of fun as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, so
There's only
probably
so much you can do in
those
the
two
Canadian Shield when you're
for sure.
routing a course.
Yep, no doubt.
Well,
Bouncing off some rocks. Yeah.
yeah, it happens. It's bound to happen at least once at
Yep.
Pinawa.
Yeah. Niagara, beautiful. We just played
Yes.
there last week. Shout out to Terry James for hosting us. That was our last episode. So go look that up. But Niagara, what a serene, you know, just a leisurely walk through a park. You would never know you're in
Yeah.
the city.
That's what
It
I
was
hear. Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Fantastic time, fantastic people down there. And again, I mean, everyone in the golf industry that we've run into have been more than welcoming and just great throughout our golf careers. And so a shout out
Mhm.
to everyone in the industry that at least we have crossed paths with and had on this show.
Certainly, especially initially, and then
Yeah.
often we don't hear from them again. But that first initial meeting,
Yeah, it
JR,
was great.
that's great.
Although Terry did end up texting me, so it was good. It was all good after
And
after our
Sean
show.
Reynolds. Sean Reynolds had a great round. A great guy. We played with him in Niagara as well.
He has not gotten back to me though.
He's a busy guy. He got family time.
Right.
He was 24/7 NHL for 8 months there. But anyways, let's move on. What would be, in your opinion, the most memorable course you've played? Have you got out and played a few courses? Sounds like, nationally or throughout the world.
Haven't played a ton of golf outside the country. Just was in California about a month ago for a USAM qualifier. Played down there. Course wasn't amazing, but it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But probably the most I enjoyed was the Pulpit Club last year in Toronto.
Yeah,
Just a super cool setup, just manicured to perfection, fast greens. Just just a perfect golf course, I'd say.
that's awesome. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't golfed out in Ontario, but obviously lots to choose from. You got a bucket list course anywhere in the world. We're not accepting Augusta.
Nope, I don't blame you. Anywhere in the world. I feel like St. Andrews has to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just, playing video games growing up, seeing it on TV. It's just one of those courses you think golf and you think St. Andrews. So I don't know, maybe
Can you
St.
play it at
Andrews.
EVO?
You know, St. Andrews is the one course you cannot. It's funny. We have Augusta, but we don't have St. Andrews.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's
There you go.
Always room for improvement.
interesting. There always is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know I mean, we have a lot of golfs on in Winnipeg, also different from the Foresight technology, but you can play St. Andrews there, but it's
Yep.
pretty bland, right?
Yeah.
On screen, St. Andrews is like, this
Just
is,
looks
with
like
the
a farmer's field.
yeah, with the exception of maybe the last 2 holes, that's when you,
It's kind of like, where am I?
yeah,
Just hitting the ball into nowhere.
right. Yeah, it doesn't do it justice, as I'm sure it doesn't do any justice to any of the other courses.
Mhm.
But is Augusta called Augusta, or it's called like
It's
some
called
fairy tale place?
Georgia Golf Club,
Oh, okay.
but
Yeah.
it's pretty spot on. It's
Yeah,
pretty
'cause
spot on.
you can't like license it as Augusta.
No, there's a few courses like that. Like all the TPC courses are DPC. So like we got Scottsdale, Sawgrass, Pebble, or yeah, they call Pebble DPC for some reason. Not sure why, but
Is there
Very
maybe
cool.
a favorite virtual course then that you like to play?
Yeah.
virtual course that, oh man, I don't know. I've kind of played them all throughout the
Yeah.
winter.
Okay. Nice.
We had a 12 week league um in the winter time, and we tried to follow the tour schedule, so we played
Oh,
all
cool.
the cool courses like
That is
Pebble,
cool.
Sawgrass, Scottsdale, and then if it was a course that wasn't that cool, we'd go to like some other cool places. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, I feel like I've probably played the majority throughout the winter.
That's good. I mean, that's the thing when you kind of forget about winter, but I mean, I played a lot of virtual golf, sim golf, and you're always, when you get there, you're always struggling to find, okay, what course do I want to play?
Yep,
I mean, and for maybe a higher handicap, what course is going to be not fun because I'm going to be OB uh
for sure,
all
for
all
sure.
day, But that's good. Good answer. Go to Scotland. What's stopping you? You're young. Go.
Yeah, no, yeah. Hopefully, yeah. Who knows what might happen in the next few years? But I'd love to play there.
What would be your career low round?
Career low is 63 at Wheat City. Last year tied the course record. That's 8 under, and then not long ago I was 8 under at Shilo, 64.
Holy smokes. Wow.
So
Ooh,
eight
Not too
under.
shabby.
Yep.
very nice. Very nice. Number 8, my wild card, and this might be a stretch, but did I see that you're also a fisherman?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
So growing up with my older brother and my dad, it's kind of all we did, aside from sports. Um, it's kind of took a bit of a step to the side with how into golf I am right now, and for the foreseeing future, I will be. But hopefully down the road, I get back into it. It's always been something I really enjoy. Um, I don't know what it is, just so peaceful being outside on the lake, and whether it's good fishing or not, I always have a good time. So
Mm-hmm.
That's what we hear. Just a good time to be out on the water.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of almost, there's a lot of golfers that are also avid fishermen that
yeah,
we've found out through doing this. You got a favorite place to go out to fish?
the fish. We go we go to the Duck Mountains actually quite a bit up north of Roblin there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lake called Twin Lakes. It's got stocked tiger trout actually, so it's a little bit
Ooh,
different. Um,
Whoa.
but yeah, tiger trout. Pretty
wow.
pretty cool. Yep.
I
And
bet.
stocked.
Yeah,
Stocked. Yep.
it's
Yep.
tasty. Sounds tasty.
You can't,
You
you
can't eat them.
you can't eat them out
Can't,
of there, no,
you
but
can't keep them.
you can't keep them, but they're a lot
Right.
of fun to catch.
Well,
Yeah.
sport fishing, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, you're gonna be one of those guys that puts the rod in the bag, like and then
Was it Cam Smith who
Cam
who
Smith,
did that?
yeah.
Yeah, in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Get
not
off
sure.
get off.
I'm not sure if there's any stocked ponds at Rossmere. Maybe. Could be. I'm sure at Oak Island you could probably throw a rod in the lake there.
Yeah, I bet you could.
So our ninth question, our flagship question of the back nine lightning round. What is your favorite condiment?
Oh, it's got to be ketchup.
Ketchup.
I don't
right.
know. Just easy.
Mm-hmm.
Throw it on almost anything. Almost anything.
Almost anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we haven't heard ketchup for a while.
And
Not
just
sure.
like a regular ketchup, no spicy ketchups, just your regular.
No, just regular.
Oh wow.
You got what brand though?
Heinz.
Oh yeah.
Heinz.
I mean, that's the obvious answer. I mean,
See, I've been getting back into ketchup now too.
yeah.
A lot of Heinz stocked in the fridge. I don't know what it is. I'm like, I think I'm going through ketchup now faster than I've ever gone through ketchup. What the hell is going on here? I am putting it on everything. You're right.
Careful.
Peanut butter and jelly jam, ketchup. Throw that on there too. No, wouldn't do that. But awesome. That was the back nine lightning round for Bryce Matlashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavour Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. And give Bryce a call at 204-515-3446. We also have his information in our link tree. You can fax him. You can email him. Whatever you want to do, you can get a hold of Bryce, and he'll help you out with so many things. So if you're starting a business like EVO Golf, he can help out with that. If you're acquiring a business, you can ask him about that. Financial planning, taxes, you can ask him about all those things. And if he doesn't know, he knows people who do know. So shout out to Bryce, and thanks again for supporting us in our 100th episode. Just crazy. And Evan, thanks so much for coming on to the show. Mike, do you have any last words? Or Ev, do you have any last words?
Well, I mean, we always leave this one to the last, but I mean,
Sure.
Evan, is there anything we left out? Anything you want to say, or any
shout outs to anyone?
Any great stories that we didn't get out of you yet?
Any great stories, eh? Nothing comes to mind real quick.
And that's okay.
Yeah. No.
Pretty clean guy.
Pretty clean guy. Yeah.
Good. You just wait. No, it's
No.
it's all good. We appreciate it. We look forward to getting out there and coming out to EVO Golf maybe this winter when number one isn't shut down, and try out all the technology there, because it sounds and looks, especially on social media.
Yeah.
We'll have that in our link tree as well, so you can go check out what EVO Golf has to offer. And best of luck at the AM coming up. One hell of a player. We're looking forward to seeing you progress as your career continues here in this wonderful game of golf. But that's it for us. Thanks again for coming on the show, and have yourselves a wonderful night.
For sure, guys. Appreciate it a bunch. Looking forward to keeping listening to you guys here down the road.
Yeah,
awesome.
Thank you. And we look forward to watching you. Thanks again. Good night.
Appreciate it, guys.
Bye.
Later.